Call the meeting to order. Would you
Good-
call a roll, please?
Yes, good morning or good afternoon. I'm sorry. Randy Ruby,
Here.
Todd Horn,
Here.
Marvin Nevelier. Are you online?
Neville.
Nevelair. Star 6 if you're online, Marvin Nevelair. Bryce Shaneborn,
Here.
Dixie Weidman,
Here.
Weidman, excuse me. Robert Hahn,
Here.
Jason McMillan, Roger Petrick, Dennis Worko,
Here.
and Timothy Westfall. I see you online.
Okay. Is there any public comment? There's nobody in the gallery. If you're online, press star 6, please, to speak. Nobody. Any communications from committee members? Okay, move on. We got the minutes from September the 4th. What's your pleasure on the minutes?
I would make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Law enforcement reports. Bob, you're up first.
I guess, well, since the last time we met in September, our agency had 9 OWI arrests. That brings us up to 45 total for the year. In that same time frame, we had 5 drug arrests, brings us up to 27 for the year. I guess with that, so our canines have been busy. Canine Kane has actually, he's been out quite a bit with training and things of that nature, plus his handlers, FMLA leave and stuff like that. But they're still out and about. I guess as far as staffing goes, we're currently 1 deputy short there. We're looking at several FMLA leaves here in the near future. So that I think will affect our patrol out on the roads. And that's it.
Tim, you're up.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Okay, we got the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. Todd?
All right, here we go. So since we last met, September 4th, Price County has had 47 total crashes reported, resulted in 0 fatalities and 11 injuries. I do have the fatality that occurred on 113-111. Is that discussable with the sheriff's office or?
We won't be I won't be going into any details on that investigation, but
Okay.
yep.
I'll just present it, and if something pops up that's of questionable nature, we'll cease. So anyway, those were the crashes that occurred in Price since we last met. Statewide, in 2025, up until November 28th, which is a week ago, the statewide we're at 505 fatalities, meaning 505 people have lost their lives in 462 crashes. Last year, at that same time of the year, there were 525. So we're 20 fewer fatalities this year on track. Hopefully that continues. Fatal crashes. We don't technically have any fatal crashes for this quarter, but I didn't, this wasn't downloaded into community maps when we met last. So then I always backtrack a little bit. And of course, I made a note to go over this one. So we had a fatal crash at Highway 13. That's at Little Chicago Road, Highway 111. Is that a misprint? Is it Worcester? There's no H there. How does that pronounce that township?
Wooster.
Worcester. Okay. It is spelled correctly. So, moving on, August 28th at 9:43 a.m. on State Highway 13 at Little Chicago Road. There is just an overview of the crash scene on the map, and the flags that were determined were commercial motor vehicle, impaired occupant protection, teen driver, lane departure, second unit. This is listed as a head-on. It's more of an angular crash. At least that's my undertaking or my understanding when I was reading the document. So, unit number 1 was a semi-tractor pulling a loaded farm tanker going westbound on Little Chicago Road. Unit 2 was a light pickup truck traveling southbound on Highway 13. Unit 1 had a stop sign, but according to the crash document, did not stop for the stop sign. As the two vehicles entered the intersection, Unit 2 struck the side of Unit 1 near the cab. At least that's what's depicted in the diagram. Both vehicles slid across into the southwest portion of the intersection with Unit 1 on its side and Unit 2 pinned underneath. This is a Google Maps overview of the crash scene. This is a street view. It does look like there is a stop ahead sign on Little Chicago Road as you're looking west approaching the intersection. And as you travel further, you'll see that's the actual intersection. And then there's another view just kind of looking beyond that house right there, looking towards where the pickup truck would have come from. This is State Highway 13 southbound view. You can see there's a sign indicating there's a junction ahead and another sign. And then, of course, the actual intersection itself. Roadway surface when the crash occurred was depicted as dry. It was an intersection, but it was a straight road for both vehicles. The grade was level. We had daylight conditions. No roadway factors were listed. Clear weather conditions, 55-mile-per-hour zone. I did a crash history of 5 years in that intersection, so a very small portion of the roadway, just where the intersection is. And I included deer in that crash history. And this will forward. You can kind of see that shaded portion is where I selected any crashes to show up. So you can see if they were intersection related, they should show up within there. And I show 4 crashes resulting in 2 fatalities and 3 injuries. So one was in 22, involved a teen driver, no apparent injury. So that's kind of like a fender bender. The second one was in 23, minor injury, 65 plus driver. In 23, we had a deer crash. And then of course the fourth one is the crash we're talking about right now, the fatal. So 2 vehicle angle collision. Unit 1 was an 18 Mack tractor pulling a loaded cargo tank, gross vehicle weight more than 26,000 pounds. No mechanical issues noted. There was 1 occupant. Unit number 2 was an 07 GMC Sierra pickup with 3 occupants. So subject factors, Unit 1 driver, 19-year-old male, serious injury, transported by ground EMS, no safety equipment determined, no airbag, trapped and extricated, concerned about, there was suspected drug use, test was given and pending, unknown if distracted, they missed the stop sign, individual condition was listed as not observed, failed to stop for stop sign. So this next slide, I'm incorporating both the Unit 2 driver and the 2 passengers. So you can see age is 41 and then 8 and then 6. My understanding, and sometimes it's hard to, when you're looking at a report, but my understanding is that they were in the front seat, seat belted in. So we had a 41-year-old male driver, 8-year-old passenger, and a 6-year-old passenger, both males. 41-year-old male fatal, 8-year-old male fatal, and the 6-year-old male serious. At least that's, unless something's been updated, I'm not aware of. Air transport for the 6-year-old. Belt, I think they were belted across. Not sure about, if they were following, the age and size requirements for, booster seats and all that. Airbags were deployed up front. They were all trapped and extricated. So, and I know Bob can't comment on anything further, but that's what I have for that crash. If anyone has any questions. Okay, moving on. Just a reminder for law enforcement that law enforcement phlebotomy program is still in effect and taking new trainees. So there's going to be training in January and also May. So if anyone is interested in that, I'll be sending the slides out so you'll have all that information, Bob or anyone else. Probably already have this, but DRE schools, they're coming up in March and April, and then also October and November for all of 26. So, just to review here, taking time to kind of go over things that we've discussed before about Vision Zero and getting the community involved with traffic safety, preventative efforts and whatnot. Traffic safety is a public health issue, and it affects more than law enforcement and DOT. And the idea is to get the whole community involved. And the new vision for safety, or the Vision Zero, when you look at the traditional approach, we used to look at traffic deaths were just inevitable. Now we feel they are preventable. We used to try to perfect human behavior. We know that's not possible. So we're trying to integrate human failure into the approaches for traffic safety. We focused on solely preventing collisions. Now we know we're going to have collisions. We want to prevent fatal and serious crashes. We focused individual responsibility, law enforcement. Now we're looking at a total systems approach, and saving lives is expensive, but it's inexpensive compared to everything that follows that. So I've talked about this before too, the safe systems approach. That's the 5 layers of traffic safety. So we have safe road users, safe vehicles, safe speeds, safe roads, and post-crash care. So an example would be if you have a road user that's not safe, they're speeding, they're intoxicated, they're not wearing a seatbelt, whatever, they get in a crash. Hopefully the other layers will save them, meaning we develop safe vehicles to operate. We operate at safe speeds or speed limits. We work on our roadways to make them as safe as possible, and then post-crash care with like MedFlight and EMS. So Vision Zero Network is listed below if anyone wants to look into that and see any ways that your community could be, could grow in the traffic safety realm. That is a network there for you. There we go. So learning to drive. Driving is a learned behavior. When do children start learning how to drive? It's when their car seat goes from rear facing to front facing. I have a video here. Hopefully it'll play. So kind of a powerful ad. Obviously kids are picking up on how we drive, and something to be mindful of. So this is something that the state has been working towards for quite a while, and this involves community maps. So there's a new program called Wistar. And so it's a pilot program, which is now coming out of the pilot phase and is now open up to everyone. And so it's a way to map law enforcement traffic stops, which would indicate the date, time, location, the uniform traffic citation versus warning or violation type. And what it will do is it'll allow law enforcement to look and see where their enforcement efforts are. And you can look at that with, maybe your crash data and see maybe where you should be focusing your efforts more or less. So no personal information of the violator is in this document. So when you search, you can't look up and see who got a ticket or whatnot. It's meant for the sole enforcement data. Completely optional for law enforcement agencies. You don't have to take part. But if you do, it's super easy. And you can opt out anytime that you want. Also, well, let's go into so this is my home county, Columbia. I retired from there. And what I did was I did a search on community maps. And what I did was I checked or anywhere that a law enforcement officer felt that the crash had to do with a speed violation. So all those are not all the crashes, but those are the crashes where someone said, yep, speed was a factor in this crash. So then what you want to do is you want to do a geo layer over top of that with your citations and see how you're doing. So for anyone that's going to be in community maps, I just included this in here. So it's a quick tutorial. You can go back and look at it anytime you want. But first you would check this little box layer right here. You would select traffic citations. And because I was looking at speed before, I selected speed for traffic citations and or warnings, however you want to look at it. So here's a map. Now you can see the dots on the screen, though. That was the original map that we were looking at. Those are the crashes. And then you can see all that blue and red blotchy. The red is really, really intense, where the blue is a little less. So you can see on the map in the upper left-hand corner, and you can't see my cursor, on the upper left-hand corner is the city of Wisconsin Dells. And when you follow that red line down, that's Highway 16 right into the city of Portage. It's a well-traveled road. There's a lot of speeding going on that road, and you can see how much enforcement that the sheriff's office is doing there. But look how few crashes there are. There's 3 crashes listed in the year's time. Now, there's more crashes than that occurred, but those are the ones that are speed related, right? So you can kind of compare apples to apples. So now, as an administrator, you might look at that and go, all right, well, we're doing a really good job on Highway 16. Should we keep doing that, or should we move our people to different areas where the crashes are actually occurring? Though that line that's going straight down the middle, that's the Interstate 9094. So this is another option that you can select. It's not very helpful in this format, but it shows every single traffic stop that was related to speed. You can see how thick it is on Highway 16 in that upper left-hand corner. However, what you can do is you can zoom in and you can select individual traffic stops like so. So when you click on the stop, it'll tell you the date, the time, the county, the municipality, the agency, what the actual location was, Highway 16 at Clapstein Road, the number of citations, the number of warnings, the statute, the categories of speed restriction, and the coordinates. Also, you can select a cluster. So on that upper left-hand corner, you can see Highway 16 has 47, 231, and 293 stops. But it's just a different format, different way to look at it if you want to, just have an idea of how you're doing in a particular area of the county. So these are the takeaways from the WISTAR program. Potentially helpful when law enforcement agencies conduct directed patrols for staff to address identified gaps in enforcement. Useful when compiling numbers for WISE grants. If you do WISE grants, all you got to do is type it in and it'll spit it out for you, giving all your numbers. So when you're turning that back into the state, it's all there for you. It's really handy. It's a quick reference for handling citizen complaints. If someone called up and said, why aren't you guys running more traffic on Highway 13? I almost got run over. Well, you can go back and see exactly what your agency has done and you can answer back to them. Also, it's useful to compile crash and enforcement efforts for the end of the year reports if you do something like that. So, what I've been doing is I'm going around to all the different counties, and normally the sheriff's office is the largest entity or the entity that knows everybody. So I don't know if you want to discuss it with your sheriff, but if you're interested in taking part in this, what I'd like to do, Bob, would be to send you an email with about 4 or 5 different pieces of information we need in order to put you into a spreadsheet, and then the state will put you in and you can start, with that information in there. So one would be whoever your your tracks administrator, whether it's a secretary or whether it's, an officer, deputy, whether you're hosted or not. And that's about it, really. I just need a contact person, an email, and whether you're hosted or not. But what I'd love to do would be to send you an email. And then if there's any other police departments in the county that you think would want to do this, if I could get their information, and if they want to opt in, then I can put them in the spreadsheet, and everyone's going to start getting information available to them.
Yeah, if you want to send it.
Okay. Yeah. And then of course, when I send that to you, I'll also send this PowerPoint, because then you can actually show other people what's going on. So that's it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. Randy?
Okay, there we go. All right.
Do I have to make you a presenter too?
Nope.
Oh, you have for perfect.
Yes.
Oh,
I was
you
like,
guys are working in together. Okay. All right. So this is the WISTA traffic engineers report. Oh,
It's slow. There it goes.
I think this one might be for iron. Sorry.
Let me stop sharing. Technology works, it just takes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Okay. So for Price County. So I'll be going over next year's construction projects. This is Wisconsin 511. I've talked about this before, but if you do need like extended project information, you can visit that website. Okay, next slide. Okay, first project, County D, 10.3 mile safety improvement in Phillips. This is estimated to run from May 2026 to November 2027, and it's going to be reconstruction of horizontal and vertical curve and guardrail installations. It'll remain open to traffic with single lane closures and flagging operations, and access will be maintained to adjacent roads along this segment. So that's the first project. The next one is a bridge. Squaw Creek Bridge. Bridge replacement estimated June 2026. It'll be closed during construction. Road closures on either side of the bridge. Alternative routes are available for this road. Okay, and then next one. Larkin Road, also another bridge replacement. This one's gonna run a little bit longer, estimated. These are all estimated dates. We don't have specific ones yet, but May 2026 to November 2027. It'll be closed during construction, again with the road closure signs, but alternative routes are available. I spoke about this operational and safety assessment at the last meeting, but this is the Wisconsin 13 speed zone evaluation. The speed study is complete. It's still in review by management. So I think I said the same thing in the last meeting, but it is still under review. And it's evaluating whether we can lowering the southern speed zone from 40 to 35 and the northern speed zone from 45 to 35. I do have a little bit more information on the next slide about this one. So what I can tell you is that the natural driving speeds are consistent with the current limit, and the segmental crash rates along this segment are within safety norms. The roadway context also supports the existing limits, but I won't have like a final answer for you until hopefully next meeting. And then, you can go next one. So these are the improvements that we have made on the 13 and 111 intersection. The installed improvements that we have as of now of last month, 11/6/25, I went out there and did a site review just to see what exactly has been done. I'm sure there's been more since that period, but the stop ahead warning signs were relocated from 980 feet to 750 feet from the stop sign on Little Chicago Road on the eastbound approach. We also relocated the stop ahead warning signs. They were staggered. They should be parallel to each other. So we went ahead and moved those. Then you can go to the next one. So more improvements, replace and upgraded outdated signs. And then the flashing beacon originally, you can't really see it in this picture, but it was really high up on the eastbound approach and it needed to be lowered. So that flashing beacon has been lowered. The upper right hand photo shows where it's at right now. So there's a flashing beacon there. And then the next slide, this is my last one here, shows you just a diagram of what exactly the intersection is looking like right now. We do have some pending improvements, doubling stop signs on Little Chicago Road and the 111 approach, and then an addition of red reflective strips. I also heard that on the Little Chicago Road approach, there's a beacon up by the city put one up, or there is one. Is that something that anyone?
It's in the fighting state that's out of order.
Okay.
It won't be getting.
Okay, I wasn't sure. So then my notes. Does anyone have any questions about this intersection for me that I could bring back, or in terms of improvements here?
I guess my question is, aside from this additional beacon being put in, is that all the state is going to do as far as improvements to this intersection, or are you guys still considering other improvements?
I know the intersection is being looked at and it will be continued to be monitored, but I might have to come back with an answer for you on that because I'm not quite involved as much as some of my colleagues at this intersection. So, but I can definitely get back to you with an answer on it. But as of right now, these are the improvements that I have to share since I spoke with them last on early November.
The thing I'd like to, this intersection doesn't have a light on it, correct?
That is correct. I don't know. I had a question to you about that. Not the intersection, but I don't know if it's something the DOT does.
Are you a street light or like a hanging light? Okay.
Say a couple street lights would be nice there, just because it is dark at night there. Even
Okay.
You drive up 13, I mean, it's one of the only intersections, like a major intersection that is not. I didn't know that's pretty, why it's not.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know the policy for streetlights off the top of my head, but I can get back to you on that and see. I'm not sure. I know for traffic, we don't really traffic safety in terms of lighting. I haven't implemented like lighting for an intersection for safety myself, but maybe someone else that I know would have more information on it. Okay. Any other questions about that intersection or any of the information I went over? Okay. Well, that's all I have for everyone today. So Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. School transportation report, Jason?
I have nothing to report.
Okay. Rice, your turn.
Nothing to report.
I like to hear that, yeah. Citizen member, Dixie, do you have anything to report?
Nothing to report.
Thank you. I have nothing to report. Roger, do you have anything?
Well, all the road work's done for the year, so now it's just maintaining the snow. So of course, as everybody knows, snow is slow, right? So, but other than that, not much.
Okay. Next meeting date is March the 5th, 2026. Unless somebody has something else, we are adjourned.